You should always have a minimum of $1,000 in your emergency funds. I don't care if you ask the question, hey Nika, how much should I save? I don't care what you save, just save something. Don't go work a 9 to 5 and don't pay yourself first. So in this aspect, quit being loyal to a company that's not gonna be loyal to you. You may not be able to save $500 right now compared to somebody else, but don't dim your light, don't self-sabotage or make yourself feel bad. Welcome to the 700 Club. I'm gonna need you to leave that 4, that 5, and that 600 credit score at the door. I'm your girl Nika Johnson, and I am a credit coach and budgeting expert. And today we'll be talking about how to save for emergency funds. That's right. We can't predict the future, but we sure can plan for it. The unexpected happens, so we just want to be intentional and make for sure that we're saving for a rainy day. So before we begin, make for sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. First thing first, you want to make for sure that we have 3 types of savings. That's right. First is your emergency funds. You should always have a minimum of $1,000 in your emergency funds. I don't care if you ask the question, hey Nika, how much should I save? I don't care what you save, just save something. Even if it's from $10 each check, if it's from $20 each check. I know what it's like at one point in time that I wasn't able to save. I went from 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 500, turn that to 1,000, turn that to 5, and turn that to 15. So at the end of the day, you may not be able to save $500 right now compared to somebody else, but don't dim your light, don't self-sabotage or make yourself feel bad. Because guess what? When you do start to save for that first $500, that's $500 that you did not have saved before. If you're struggling or just going from check to check, trying to keep your head above water, feeling like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, if we could save just $25, take that out from fast food or take that out from getting your hair done or your nails done or eliminate cable. Or cancel some of those subscriptions, but start saving some. We want to make for sure that we're saving $1,000 in emergency fund. However, the second type of savings I want you to have is 3 months of your livelihood expenses. What that means is if you have $2,000 in monthly expenses, I want you to have a minimum $6,000 to cover for 3 months. Then I want you to work your way up to having 6 months. Third is to have 6 months of your livelihood expenses. I'm gonna tell y'all, if I ask you this, if your boss called you in today, right now to work, and they say without pay, would you? Typically the answer is no. Don't go work a 9 to 5 and don't pay yourself first. So in this aspect, quit being loyal to a company that's not going to be loyal to you, because you could be fired, terminated, or whatever the case may be. If you die today, guess what? That job role is going to be posted next week. And barely, they may even send you some flowers to your funeral. And we don't know if they're gonna do that for sure. So we just wanna make for sure that you are saving for the unexpected, and that's $1,000 emergency funds. That's gonna cover, let's say that you're driving around town, boom, you got a flat tire. That would be a type of emergency fund. Knowing the difference between a want and a need, but we want to make for sure that we are prepared for the future. We don't wanna be incurring more debt when we're focused on paying off debt. So it takes a slight mindset shift, but we definitely can do it. Again, another tip is on how to prepare for and how to save for your emergency fund is just your tax refund. That's right. Take the money from your tax refund and put it up. Always make for sure that you have $1,000. Maybe, okay, you don't get taxes or your tax was already accounted for. Another option would be is to automate your savings. Out of sight, out of mind. So if you are having direct deposit from your employer going into a bank, then open up a credit union. If it's direct deposit to a credit union, then get a bank. I always recommend to build your relationship and have 2. So have at least 1 bank and at least 1 credit union. You can have more the merrier. It's really up to you. But just make for sure that you're building that relationship and change your direct deposits of, if it's going to be $25 out of each check bi-weekly being deposited to another account, out of sight, out of mind. Don't get an ATM card, don't get a checking account created, you don't need a debit card, you don't need a checkbook. You want to reduce your limit of access to that account, because we don't want to be saving money and then pulling it back. You have to identify the difference between a want and a need. So I believe in automating your savings. That's definitely going to be able to help you save money and just keep it in there, because then all that money that you were spending on fast food and other leisures and things, we could be putting some of that towards savings. Another tip is picking up a part-time job. I get that you may just not have enough time. We gotta do what we gotta do to make sure that we have a savings. Get in love with savings. So it's not that you have to have this part-time job forever, but we wanna get into the mode of being able to thrive and not just be in survival mode. Not figuring out of how you wanna make this payment and not how you're gonna pay this or pay that. This is where that emergency funds is gonna happen. Let's say there was an unexpected death in the family, you gotta take a trip. Okay, that is what emergency funds is going to be. Now, don't get so caught up in saving and then you're scared to ever borrow. Another tip will be is building your side hustle. Having different streams of income. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, whatever it is it donating plasma. Build additional streams of income so we can be able to start saving money. But again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And these are my recommendations on how to help build emergency funds. If you don't have a specific amount, then start with some number. If not, do 10%. When you get a pay increase, don't feel like, oh, now I'm making more money. Add that to your 401k. But I'm your girl, Nika Johnson, and these are my tips and recommendations for you. And I just got one question for you. Is that in your budget?